Meine Damen und Herren, bitte erheben Sie sich für die Nationalhymne von Italien. C'era qualche tensione, si temeva magari qualche fischio per l'inno italiano che invece...
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome John Kunsaduka and alongside him Brian Dorr.
Thank you, Ariana. Excellent.
Good job, Ariana.
Excellent once again. Welcome, everyone, like Ariana said, to the Staten Island Soccer Report, coming to you live tonight from the studios of CTV. Brian, I guess we could just jump right into, we'll wrap up the soccer on Staten Island with the travel team, so I'll hand that over to you.
Okay.
We'll start with your U9 team, and then we'll jump into the U12s.
U9 finished their spring season, finished third.
Okay.
Great season. I really don't know what to really say about it because I get emotional when I talk about them. It was a rough season for us this spring, but the girls played solid. They played hard. They played as a team. Finished third in their regular season. Made it to the semifinals in both. They played in 2 cup tournaments. The Northern Counties Cup, they made it to the semis, and the New York Cup, New York Club Soccer League, New York Cup, they made it to the semifinals. And that one is the special one because they did that with 7 girls and no subs.
Right.
So we had our rough season. Again, they finished third. And, we take a little break now, get ready. We just had tryouts. We're still doing, finishing up. And I'm going to fill my roster. It looks like by the time it's all said and done, I'm going to have 14 kids on my roster.
Okay. I'm just going to do the Facebook
We're going live. We're going streaming to all your paisans over across the pond.
Might as well, yeah.
We got to get out there.
Okay, so pretty good season. I was at some of your practices, and I really like the way you guys train. And you have a good trainer there. You're a good coach yourself, so nothing but good things.
Yeah, no, it's. I think there's, that we're bringing back the core of our team.
Right.
We're bringing back our trainer, and that's the key. Is our trainer.
Right.
I don't even refer to myself as a coach.
Okay.
I'm the manager.
All right.
I handle the administrative stuff.
Okay.
And I'm there to help the kids out, but I bring a trainer in.
Right.
I know that's what I need. Some people are against it. Parents want it. The parents are okay with it.
Right.
It's an extra cost to us as parents.
Right.
But I'm bringing somebody in that can work them. It's a different voice. So we're bringing him back. We're bringing everybody back. We added, like I said, we're going to have 14 probably on our roster.
Right.
A little much, but I confirm we're 8v8 in our league.
Okay.
So we're good. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to the fall season.
What's going on for the summer? Anything? You guys got anything
actually
planned?
just got my young U9 team. We're going to be U10 when we play this, but we're going to the Hershey tournament.
Okay.
Hershey Cup. Just to get them going, just to play a little bit of it, play a little bit in August to get them ready for the season to start.
So from July just training, right? It's just
July
training.
is one day. We're doing one day a week.
1 day a week. All right,
there's a couple. I came here today,
Yeah.
straight from Silver Lakes doing their clinic.
Right.
Came from here. My daughter's there, plus a couple of the kids from the team.
Okay.
I came from there. That's 2 weeks, but I'm going to start. They'll get a 2-week break.
Right.
This Friday's our last practice. Then we'll have 2.5 weeks to maybe 3 weeks off,
Right.
and then we'll start again 1 day a week just to
Okay.
keep them together. And then we started up again in August.
August, okay. We got Ariana. We're going to see if Ariana has any input. You can speak at any time, all right? We'll get the camera on you. All right, Ariana, you're right there. So anything going on with you, Ariana, recently with soccer? Nothing?
Nothing. I saw something on Facebook though. I saw a picture of you with a trophy. What you get a trophy for?
You had a couple of trophies, right? You played on 2 teams this past season, right? You want anything to say about that? No? We'll come back to you when you're ready to speak. All right, Brian, let's jump right into the U12s because, of course, there's a lot of soccer going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Professionally, we got to cover pretty much a lot. Not sure if Vincenzo's going to call. He might be on the road. I know just got a call today that his daughter gave birth.
Oh,
So he's
Okay.
a grandpapa now. So I'm
that's
not
it.
sure if he's
He's not
calling.
calling in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's calling.
I wouldn't bet money on him calling in.
But you never know with him.
That's true.
You know, he may
That's
call. I
true.
told him he could call on the road. You know, get the
Yeah,
cell phone out.
listen.
All right, so let's get right into this Fire team. You know, we're with them pretty much the whole way here. So, what are your thoughts on the Fire? And I'll chime in a little bit. You know,
I think they ended on a really positive note. I mean, we played yesterday.
Yep.
Season went one week longer just
Right.
because of rain and all that, but we played yesterday, and I haven't got to see many games, but I could tell you of the games that I saw, that by far was the best I've seen them play in a while,
okay.
in my opinion. And I haven't seen
yeah.
them play in a while. I mean, it's hands. The last time I saw them play was Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yesterday, and it's not just because they won.
Right.
The result could have been that they tied or they lost yesterday, but just the determination of these kids,
Yeah.
they didn't stop. The communication was there. It was it looked to me as a totally different team.
They
I
were.
was really impressed with the way they played
They
yesterday.
were missing a very important player also.
Yep.
Got injured.
Yes.
All right, yeah. My thing is I think from Memorial Day on up until yesterday, I think they really made an improvement. Memorial Day tournament was.
Oh yeah, we didn't even
11?
get to. We haven't been on since that tournament,
Right.
and that was a great tournament.
Right, so that was 11v11. They played excellent in that tournament, and they right to the finals, losing on PKs.
Listen.
It went out in over extra time period.
Let's make it as dramatic as it really was.
Yeah.
They were losing 2-0
Yeah. Oh.
in that game
Yep. Yep.
for a good portion of the game.
Yeah.
And came back to score 2 goals to tie it, to take it to PKs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And listen,
I think that first few minutes, right, that's shell shocked them.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been scored on. I think only once
they gave up 1 goal in their group stage.
up to that point, right? Up to
Yeah.
that game, and then
It was 1 goal, and it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
But it started it. Again, losing 2-0, and they came back. They didn't stop.
Right.
That's the team that I know and I've always
Right.
seen. And they haven't been around. That team hasn't been there all season. Had bits and pieces where they showed it.
Yeah.
But that tournament, and let's keep in mind, they play in EDP. I know we play New York Club, Premier, Division One. This was EDP.
Right.
This is a whole new tournament to them. Playing 11v11, which they don't play every week.
Okay.
And I actually think they play better 11v11 than
Yep.
they do 9v9.
They showed that.
It's constant. They definitely look better when they play 11v11. But it took us to PKs. And, I'm glad they got there. It's bittersweet. They got to the finals, and they got to the PK piece. Being the father of a goalkeeper,
Right.
and of that goalkeeper that had to be it.
Yeah.
It's not where I wanted it to go.
yeah.
They didn't even give us 2 5-minute overtime periods.
They give it right straight to
We
PKs.
went right straight to PKs, and that was it.
Not a way you want to decide
No.
a final, but still a great job by the Fire.
Oh, they were awesome that weekend.
You
They
know,
were awesome.
For me, I'm glad that this 9v9 is over with. September we'll go 11v11, or they'll go 11v11. We have one of the players right here in the studio.
Right, but she won't come on TV.
She won't come on. She's taking some time off, I think. But
And I
you
want
know,
to mention that yesterday, the player that, without mentioning her name, but the player that's here, finally showed a little bit of her ability that she has. And I was happy to see it.
Let's just hope she continues, and that's the thing. She has to build off that, and starting Wednesday, she's going to go back to training.
Take 2 days off.
You're going to take 2 days off, and that's it. You know, you want to push him. I don't want to drag him onto the field, but I want to push him a little, you know. But they have to want to do it.
Yeah, no, they have to want.
It's got to be
it.
within them, you know.
You could put them there. They always say you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, it's the same thing with these kids on the field.
So
if you're dragging them there, they don't want to be there. Then what are they going to do? They're not going to play.
No, exactly.
So
So
it was
hopefully,
a good season.
Hopefully, you know, during the regular season, the beginning of the season, they struggled a little bit, and rightfully they did. We call it the way we saw it. They did struggle for whatever the reason was. They hung in there with some good team, and they played some really good teams.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but they hung in there a little bit, and they turned it around. I think going into that tournament, to this tournament, Memorial Day weekend, I don't know if anyone expected what they saw.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pull no punches.
no.
If we came out with a win, one win,
Right. Now this is
I would have
based.
taken that as a win for us because you didn't go down there and travel there to get beat and go winless.
Yeah, to lose all 3 of the games.
But when you win that first game, to me, I was playing with house money at that point, and then to have 2 shutouts after that.
Right.
You know, 2 shutouts after that, and win your group you know, that was it. You couldn't ask for any more.
Just
So
looking
it was
at
a great tournament.
right, just looking at the schedule and leading up to that, we didn't expect them to win much. So the girls turned it around. I mean, and they shocked everyone, maybe themselves also.
I mean,
maybe. You know?
I look at it this way. There was 2 games on this schedule that I'm looking at that I'll call it a blowout, and they're not really blowouts, but the 3 goal, 4 goal lost by 4 goals and a loss by 3 goals.
Yeah.
There was a couple of other 3 goal, but everything else was they lost by 1 goal.
I mean, no excuses, but the first game the weather was terrible.
Right.
And this was, I believe, a second half. They scored the 2 goals. I believe at halftime it might have been 1-0.
At that point, it just went.
Right. If we break it down,
they were in every game.
Yeah.
You know, a 1-0 loss, a 3-2 loss,
right.
You know, a 2-1 win, a 1-1 tie, a 2-1 loss.
Yeah.
So they proved they can play at that level.
Yeah.
They did. At least I believe it.
Yeah.
You know, but like any team, there needs to be I know I did it. And I speak about it because I know I do it. I take notes at every game. I sit there. One, it's a way to try and keep my mouth shut on the sideline so I don't get yelling at the kids and barking out orders and just let them play. Yeah. But I take notes of what things happen.
Okay.
And you look back at the season. So I'd like to think that there's going to be some reflection on this season and say, okay, where were we weak? And we know it because once again, and I'm calling it out because it is what it is, another goal on a corner kick.
Right.
Missed mark resulted in a goal. And also on top of that, the player who was challenged or responsible for marking the back post wasn't marking the back post the right way, not because she didn't know how. She wasn't shown the proper way.
Right. Well, you got to practice it.
So,
train,
as I look back at it, that ball goes there. That ball went in the far post on the ground rolling.
On the ground,
If that player is shown the proper way to mark that, to hold that post, ball may not go in. I'm not going to say it doesn't go in, but it may not go in. But again, so these are things.
Yeah, that was a problem early in the season, and it hurt them again yesterday.
Right.
Fortunately enough, it didn't cost them the game.
No.
Because we got one. Do you want to come on? You have any thoughts on the season? Do you want to come on? You can come on. Come right here. You could use this mic. Give us some thoughts, and then we're going to move on. All right.
You could tell us how you think. Tell us if you think we're wrong.
All right? There's nobody watching. Don't worry about it. There's nobody watching. Go ahead.
Got a lot
Don't
of
be
people
shy.
watching
So
us.
we got Gabriella from the Fire. You know what? You just completed your first travel season anyhow, right? So how do you feel? What are your thoughts? Give us something. Speak. Come into the mic. Give us.
I think the last game was our best game, and
Speak up a little louder, closer. Speak up.
I think that the last game was our best game, and next season we'll do way better.
You'll do better, right? All right. So what are you learning from yesterday's game? You taking anything out of that game? You're gonna.
To take more shots than we've done before.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That's fine. Listen. Good luck to you. Next season. Hopefully, your team's got a lot of potential. We've been saying that all year. So good luck to you guys, and we'll see you. All right. Hopefully, we'll get you guys on again. All right. You want to stick around? You want to have a seat in the audience? All right, have a seat. We'll get back to you. Ariana, anything you want to say before we move on?
Did you think about anything that happened over the weekend for you? Do you want to say it? Didn't one of your Richmond Town teams, or both of your Richmond Town teams, finish in first place? So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. You don't need a microphone in front of you if you're not going to talk.
Yeah. All right. Feel free anytime, okay? You can interrupt us, whatever, So I'll speak for Ariana a little bit. One of her teams finished first. The second team, I think they didn't do as well, but still, you guys had a picnic ceremony trophy on Saturday with Richmond Town. You guys had fun,
Yeah.
right? We could go right over to Ariana, right? What'd you do at the picnic? I know you're not shy. Go ahead. You're sitting there. You're an announcer for a soccer show. You're not shy. So let us know what you did at the picnic.
I was playing soccer.
You're playing soccer. Were you in a pool?
Yeah.
Okay. What else
Wow.
did you do?
I was eating.
I believe the
was
the Red
eating.
Bull Street team was there,
Oh,
right?
wow.
They were doing some tricks, right? Even though we want New York City FC to be there, all right? But that's okay. We'll take them. Those guys did some tricks. All right. Anytime, Mariana, feel free.
Okay.
All right. As far as the Fire, again, we spoke about it. A rough start, but they bounced back. They kind of
showed signs.
Right. They showed signs, and that's basically really all you can ask for. I mean,
and I don't like using this as an excuse,
yeah.
but this change in birth year, going to birth year,
Right.
is really going to benefit us.
That's a good thing.
We're playing, and we're playing teams from Long Island,
Right.
Westchester. They breed them big.
Yeah.
We know it. They
Yeah.
breed them big.
Right.
And their talent pool is a little bit bigger,
Right.
and I don't want to use the word stacking, but they're loading their team up with later birth years. So where late 03s and 04s are our age group
Yeah.
up until now,
Okay.
they were all 03s.
Yeah.
And bigger, faster, stronger. And I
Well-
think we're going to benefit from it. I really do. And I think there's nothing but upside potential for these
Right.
kids.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good thing.
So,
All right. So the Fire finished strong. Start off slow, finish strong. Looking forward to September.
definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
And we're not sure what they're doing. They might be doing a tournament over the summer.
It looks like they're looking and hoping
They're
to do
looking
the
into
Hershey
something.
tournament.
Right. That's fine. So good luck to them going forward, and hopefully at some point we'll get them back on, and
I think so.
We'll get them back on the show at some point. I'm sure they'll be willing to come on. All right, we got one more, maybe like breaking news going on Staten Island.
I'm sure it's not so much breaking anymore.
Right.
It's all.
But
out
it's
all
it's
over.
out there. The Sea of Stars is coming to New York, and you probably know a little bit more about it than I do. If you want to,
I mean, to be honest with you, all I know is Sea to Stars is an organization
Right.
that's known for their boys
Okay.
program.
Right.
They're in Jersey. They're
Let's go,
based
bro.
out of Jersey.
Yep.
And they're making their
Okay,
way
just-
into New York. Just looking at the flyer, they acquired, I guess that's the best way to use it, acquired Staten Island United.
yeah,
So it's no longer Staten Island United. They took over, they created, so I didn't even know there was this club at Primo in Brooklyn, but they now took
Yep.
over this club in Brooklyn and a club in Orange County, New York. So they're spreading their wings.
yeah.
I don't know what it means
Yep.
for the Staten. For Staten Island,
Well-
but I can tell you that the soccer landscape on Staten Island just got drastically changed because.
Right.
From what I'm hearing, and I don't know anything out there. You hear this, you hear that, and I'm not even going to speculate on what I hear because that's all it is hearing. Never spoke to anybody.
Well, let's hope we can
But
get...
there's things going all over the
Right.
place.
Okay.
All
right.
From the difference of the costs to who's starting up, teams leaving and going here, and rec clubs starting travel programs, and
Yeah, there's so much
there's
going
just so
on.
much going on.
There really
I'd
is.
love for somebody to call. If you're watching it, call in.
Yeah, not only watching, anything, calls.
Hearing
right,
it, call
right.
us.
So we really can't say
it's-
much, but
that's it. I have nothing
yeah,
else.
yeah. With the travel, the Holy Child, I believe, is
Well, I don't
doing
even
something.
know
Yeah, they
the
would
rec
do-
team. I don't know the scope of it. I know that
Okay.
there's I know Staten Island Youth Soccer League gets involved. I wish somebody would just email us, contact us through our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Just
they
to, we don't want to speak about it because we don't know anything.
Right. It's not much we can
Everything's
say about it.
hearsay right now.
All right, so we'll wrap up pretty much soccer on the island unless there's
Yeah, there's
anything else.
nothing else.
There's a clinic going on at Miller Field. It might not be too late, and maybe this week will be the last chance to sign up for that.
Yeah, I wish I can. Again,
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna
I
take-
know that there was a deadline of June 10th as registration.
Yeah, well.
But I was there today, and people were dropping off checks and registration forms.
If you're interested, go down to Miller Field on Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Field 1,
Field 1. and
Silver Lake Soccer Academy.
see what happens after that.
They do. I don't even want to say they. We.
Yeah.
That's the club supporting the club.
Right.
They do a great job. Volunteer coaches are down there. The kids get broken up.
Lot of
Beginners,
great-
intermediates, the travel kids. And this year, it looks as different where even if you're a travel kid from another club,
Right.
you're playing with the travel kids. You're getting
Okay.
grouped into that group.
Yep.
And the travel kids, if you watch our show and you see it, we talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
Travel kids are being coached by Selman.
Right.
You know,
One of
I
the-
can't say much more about it, but Coach Selman.
One of the best. He was supposed to be on the show tonight, but of course he's down at the field.
So even if you're playing somewhere else and you're just looking to get a different experience,
Yeah.
if you can get some training with Coach Selman, I wouldn't pass it up.
One of the best on the island.
I think so.
Top of the list, definitely. Okay, let's wrap up youth soccer and let's jump right into. Let's start. I guess we could start with the Copa
Yeah.
because they're in the semifinal stage right now. So
I don't even know. I mean, both of us we talk so much crap about
Yeah.
the men's national
well,
team.
and rightfully so. And
Oh yeah,
you
there's nothing they didn't
you get-
deserve.
right, but they're in this situation now. I don't know. Is this tournament really? Are they taking it serious? Other countries,
Well, listen, it's
Colombia.
It's Copa America. I know some people aren't happy that they're playing it in the United States because it really is a South American
Right.
tournament.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they invited us. I personally think they invited us to play because they figured we weren't going to advance.
Right.
They'd get American money behind it,
Yep.
which, I get it. Advertisers, all that. And now they're playing Argentina.
And that's the problem now. Now you got to. Now there's a chance of them getting embarrassed.
Oh, this could be bad.
All right. You saw a 7-0 score Saturday night, right?
And Chile's good,
Not.
and Mexico, and I know Mexico is good,
Yeah.
but and Chile beat Mexico 7-0.
I don't get it. But,
I hate just Messi alone, but it's not just Messi alone. It's Messi. It's Angel Di Maria.
Yeah. Just too powerful. I don't see it happening as much as I do want them to win that game.
Oh,
we
of
want them
course.
to advance. But you got to think logically here. I mean, can they really beat Argentina?
Listen.
Now, don't forget that they're missing 3 players also on red cards.
And they're not
Those are the starters.
right. They're not subs. They're starters. I mean, Bobby Wood is.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about Bobby Wood until he showed up last year in Germany,
Right.
and then watching him now.
Right.
But the guy played unbelievably well
Yeah.
all during the group stage,
Yep.
and even in the quarterfinal. I mean, he
Silly.
just hustled. He just did everything.
I don't like the 2 yellow card rule. I think that's a little much. Like if you
Right.
get one in one game and then I think it
It's
should go to
hard.
3 maybe, 3 yellows.
It's hard. It is. I get it. You're playing hard.
But on the other hand, you're on a yellow. You can't foul. You can't if you
Well,
get fouled
right.
as a professional, okay? Get up and push the opponent.
No.
Right? You're gonna get
No.
that. You can't do that.
No.
All right.
You got to get up, and especially if you're on a yellow.
Right.
I mean, look, we get him back, DeAndre Yedlin, but DeAndre Yedlin got that yellow,
right.
busted his hump to get back and make a good play.
Yep.
But he went after the guy and got a yellow right after it.
Yeah. So now he's out.
And Jermaine Jones, I've never liked Jermaine Jones. I always
a little
think he's
bit of a
punk.
hothead.
Yeah, I think he's a
Yeah.
punk from the
Yeah.
MLS.
Yeah.
Just watch.
Right.
And there it was. You weren't involved in it.
Yeah.
You needed to get involved.
Back
now,
away. Yeah.
Did he hit? Did he hit him? He didn't technically put his hand to his face, but
Yeah.
his hand was going towards his face.
Hurt them for that one game.
Yeah.
I mean, him being out is not a big deal.
No, but you
You
but
hurt
now
him
you
for
have,
that
but
game.
now you
Right.
have 3 players out.
Right.
Now you miss because Bedoya's gone,
Right.
and he was playing solid in the midfield.
Well, you
Bobby
could,
Wood's gone, and now Jermaine Jones. So those are 3 guys that are gone for the semifinals.
it's an opportunity. You could look at it that way now. I mean, I'm sure that's the way they're looking at it right now. It's an opportunity for 3 players now to come into the
Yeah,
lineup.
but you want those 3 players that are coming off the
No.
bench to be
No.
against Messi and his crew.
It just so happens it's probably one of the better teams in the world.
And
You know?
he hasn't started. He hasn't started a game yet.
He'll start Tuesday night.
Oh,
He'll start Tuesday.
not that it matters
tomorrow
if he
night.
starts.
No, but he'll
Of course,
start.
He came in 16
Right.
minutes.
Yeah,
he had a
scores-
hat trick.
Right,
so
right.
it
He'll
doesn't
start
matter.
tomorrow night just because it's the U.S. and
There's going to be. He needs to make. They're giving him a lot of crap too, and Argentina.
Right.
He needs to win this. They were there last year, and they lost it on penalty kicks to Chile.
they lost the World Cup.
They lost the World Cup.
Yep. He reminds me of this guy sitting right over here, Cristiano
Oh, I don't
Ronaldo.
compare him to Ronaldo.
we could. Well, as far as not winning the big one.
That guy's the biggest baby in the world.
Yeah, but he's got to win, like you said. He's got to win a tournament.
Oh,
there.
he has to do something.
Yeah,
Yes.
right, he's
You
gotta win.
can't. You need to. Otherwise, we'll use the American football. Otherwise, you're Dan Marino.
Right. Okay.
Right.
All the
That's
stats
a-
mean nothing, no ring. Right.
Right.
Winning these club games, they're fine up until I
Because
imagine.
they pay you. I
Right,
get that.
right.
That's who pays you. So I get
Right,
it. You're
right,
doing it.
right.
But
Yeah, do it with your country. Do it with your national team. I think it's a
you
lot
know,
better that
you're-
way.
You're revered in your country,
Okay.
and you haven't won it yet.
Right.
You bring them a Copa America.
forget it.
You bring
Yeah,
them a World Cup.
World Cup. Yeah.
Get, but this is a start.
Yeah.
You got listen. You got to start.
Yeah.
You get the Copa America. You bring it back to your country. That's a stepping stone.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, you want your World Cup.
Yeah.
But you got to get something.
That'll be next in 2 years. All right. So the other semifinal, we got Chile and Colombia. Right.
Yeah.
So what do you, I think Colombia may come out of that one. You never know. But these games, after seeing that 7-0 game,
you don't know.
You never know.
I mean, look, we
Who's going to
watched-
come to play?
I mean, Colombia played to it went to PKs.
Yeah.
I mean, so again, I didn't like that it went right to PKs. I mean, these are pros.
If the U.S. gets through to the final, who do they match up better against?
Well, Colombia beat them already.
Colombia beat them, right? Do you want to know the crack at them, or you're hoping for Chile? But then
I
again,
don't know.
Chile.
Chile just put a beating on Mexico.
So there you go. And then you're facing.
Listen, I think if they make it to the finals,
Yeah.
you're playing with house money.
Yeah.
I think they're playing with house money now.
Right
in
now.
the semifinals.
Well, that's what they wanted before the tournament semifinals to get to the semis.
Yeah,
so.
well,
And
now
they're
you're
there.
here.
Yeah. I think you got to win it, and you're playing on home soil. So.
Oh yeah,
You got to win this thing.
But
All right.
listen, I'm not gonna lie.
You know,
You're playing Messi.
Let's touch on the quality of soccer compared to the Euros a little
Oh,
bit,
my
just
God.
a little bit. I mean, if you're watching all day and then you're watching at night, you could definitely see
You see a difference.
the big difference. And
It's a
for
huge
me, it's the
difference.
fouls that slows and kills a game. It
Yes.
slows it down. It stops it. and with the Copa America, too many fouls going on. It's the style, I guess.
Well, for me, it's the speed of play, which ties in the possession.
Right.
I mean, you watch the Euros, any game on the Euros all day in the morning.
Right.
It's a totally different style of play. There's constant passing.
Yep.
There's, short passes. The footwork is phenomenal.
Yep.
Now, the footwork, South Americans in the Copa, the South American teams, these guys are wonders with their footwork and the moves and dribbling in small, tight spaces. But for me, watching the European teams play, just the passing, the patience.
Patience, calmness, the calmness.
It's there. They slow down. They, and then it's the talent. We have a Messi. You have a couple of, but when you're watching the Euros, I mean, I watch Spain.
No comparison.
And 3/4 of Spain's starting lineup is Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And the teams are two different styles of play.
Yeah.
But when they play together, Spain's style is the same. Yeah. And it's just amazing.
And Spain is one. Now let's just jump over. I mean, Copa, it is what it is with the with the style, But let's
Most
just
of
jump right
MLS
into the
players.
Euros. I mean, their style, possession, right?
Yeah.
Spain has won, I think, the last 2 Euros with a World Cup.
They are the defending Euro. They are. I think they're the defending Euro.
So they won a couple of them. So, you got to give them. I mean, they got to be one. I don't think they were going to do as well. So I believe they won the first 2 games.
Yeah, they won there too.
They're 2-0, and that's you got to keep them in mind now. Everyone's thinking about Germany, and they tied their last game.
And you look at all of them, and you sit there and look. France, I expected. I expected
France, I think, are a paper. That once they play a good opponent, they'll be out.
But
they'll
I
be out.
expected that, and that's fine. They've played.
Right, they're carrying them actually.
I really didn't. I didn't know much about Wales, but it looks like Wales won their group.
Well,
and then we got Germany next week.
Right. Okay.
So we got Germany tomorrow, right?
Right.
Germany's playing tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, we're going to bring on Eric also. I mean, he's going to give us some. You know what, Eric? Take that podium part there, and Ariana, you could grab a chair and pull up here if you like. This way, he's got some insight on both the Copa and the Euros.
Definitely.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
He's got. All right, now we're going to get the camera fixed on you. Okay, just give us a few minutes. So, getting back to the Euros.
Let's not hesitate, John. You never brought it up yet. You got your jersey on, but.
No, I'm not. Listen, they didn't speak about this team going in. They kind of like pushed them aside, and that's how I like to keep it. I don't want to speak too much about the Italians, They didn't give us any credit going in. We weren't a good team and all that, so we'll get right to you,
Hey,
all right?
John, just so you know, I just got a text from Brianna, my daughter. She goes, "Can I call in?"
Yeah, sure she can.
If you want to call in,
Of course
call
you
in.
can. Definitely. We definitely want girls from the Fire calling in. So, since we mentioned it, I'm wearing the jersey to support the Italians.
I like that jersey. Forza Italia.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes. All right, so what's your take on this European versus Copa style?
You know what? It's crazy the way they do the knockout phase, deciding who gets into the knockout phase. In the Copa America, it's really the top 2 teams from each group gets into the knockout phase.
Right.
While that's in the Copa Centenario. In the UEFA Europe 2016, the way they do it is they have 16 teams.
Okay.
They have, of course, the top 2 teams, and then they have 4 spots available to any of the teams who have the most points.
Right.
So it's a lot different than what the Copa does. As for the Copa America, the American team, of course, played Ecuador this past week in the quarterfinals, and they were able to pull off a huge 2-1 victory. The Clint Dempsey header, and then he also made a big assist on a crossing pass to Ziadis in the 65th minute for them to win 2-1.
Yep.
But at the same time, it cost them several players, including some chippiness that was going on with Jermaine Jones and some of the other players that are going to be missing in tomorrow's semifinal against probably arguably the favorite to win, the powder blue. I'm talking about Argentina. led
Powder
by-
blue. Wait, you're wearing powder blue. Are you?
Is that was that on purpose for the show?
No, not. You know what's crazy about this? I know it was just, you know what? It was just something I didn't even think about that now. But
Okay.
you know, the powder blue, of course, is the nation of Argentina. You know,
Right. Yep.
led by the Golden Boot Lionel Messi, who's had so many international goals. You look at his time in FC Barcelona, and his his enemy, if I like to call it, or the guy that gives him the motivation, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is actually playing in the Europe for Portugal.
Right. And
You know, who also plays for Real Madrid in La Liga. But as for the Copa America tournament, what did you guys think of the victory over Ecuador? You know, and all the chippiness that was going on the field.
there's no room in the game for that in my mind. I don't think they should be retaliating like that.
Right.
That's what the U.S. actually did. They retaliated a lot and cost them.
Yep.
And it may cost them tomorrow night.
Especially
We'll find out.
not having Jermaine Jones, who's a really good he's a good table setter. That's what he does really well at midfield. And he is able to make some big goals from long range.
Was he off the bench, Jones?
No, he's a starter.
He's starting.
He was the starter.
Yeah, and
He
that
started all 3 games.
so that's a big loss right there for the U.S. So everything is going to be on Clint Dempsey's shoulders yet again.
It's an opportunity. You could look at it that way, or or the tournament's going to end tomorrow night.
Well, listen,
It's one or the other.
Eric said it was on Clint Dempsey's shoulders, and the reason it's going to be on Clint Dempsey's shoulders is because Bobby Wood is gone.
Right.
And Bobby Wood being on that field, playing the way he was playing, allowed Clint Dempsey to play underneath him.
Yeah.
And Alejandro Bedoya too.
And Bedoya, it's... I know they have Chris Wondolowski playing. He's another one. He scores all these goals for
MLS.
for the MLS, and then you bring him to international play. Yeah, he's got a couple of goals, but he didn't do much else.
And like I said, and now the fact that these players are not going to be playing tomorrow night in Houston, by the way, it's going to
Okay.
be.
All right, we got a caller, I think,
sure.
coming on. All right, caller, you're on the Staten Island Soccer Report.
Brianna, you there?
This might be.
Well,
There is a little bit of a delay, but we'll continue until
Yeah.
we get the caller on.
and as for the team Argentina, of course, they won via their 4-1 victory over Venezuela.
Right.
And
Okay. All right, looks like we may have the caller back.
Oh,
Brianna, you on the phone? You on the phone?
All right, if we're going to have problems, maybe she
I'm
could.
here.
Okay, she's
hello.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Go ahead. Say hello.
So, with the hi
Hello.
everybody.
Hold on, let's introduce Brianna, goalkeeper for the U12, soon to be U13 Silver Lake Fire.
Go ahead, Brianna.
With the men's, I'm here.
Go ahead. Talk.
With the men's national team coming in to versus Argentina,
Right.
I feel like they might get killed just because of Messi, just because he's the best player in the world, and they got Clint Dempsey.
Right. So you think that that's
The
going to be?
U.S. has Clint Dempsey. But
Go ahead.
go ahead, look.
No, go
For
ahead.
you, go, Dad.
No, you think that Messi's the only reason why they're gonna have trouble?
Yeah, but they have Di Maria. They got their goalkeeper. They got
Right.
Yeah, they're
they
just too
got
powerful.
they got a lot of threats on that team.
Okay.
especially Gonzalo Higuain, who had 2 goals in the last game when they played Argentina.
Yeah, and he plays in Napoli. You see, right? I think he had 36 goals this season for Napoli.
And even Sergio Aguero, another guy that always comes to play too. So they have a
There's
great.
another one. They're
Well,
stacked.
Listen, if you're on the U.S. national men's team right now, okay, how are you approaching this game tomorrow? How are you approaching it? Is it an opportunity to beat Argentina and to show the world that Messi can't always win. I mean, can he be stopped tomorrow?
He can't be stopped.
You got to play a
There's no
different
stopping
formation.
him.
Yeah, you got to play a different formation, but stopping him is going to be tough because
He can't be stopped.
yeah.
All right, he can't be stopped, but controlling him means he's going to score some goals, right? A couple of goals, and then the U.S. has to put some balls in the net themselves.
They're
No,
going to have to
what
go
they
with a
need
4
to do is
defensive.
They need to, Eric hit it on the head. They need to come up with a different formation.
Yep.
It worked.
Yeah.
Them playing the 4-4-2 worked.
Right.
But they're going to have to
Okay.
change something up. I don't know.
What about a shadow?
I don't know what it's going to be. They might have to.
Yeah,
But
keep somebody
now you're giving a
involved.
player away. Now you're taking.
Or you go player for player.
You might
course.
have to go with either a 4 or 5-man defensive front.
Right.
That's the problem. But when you do that,
You're losing your attack.
Right.
so either way, they're probably gonna lose. Unfortunately, I'm thinking 3-1. It'll be tomorrow. I think it won't be Dempsey. It'll be another player from the U.S. who will score the one lone goal for the U.S.
Okay.
But in the end, it's going to be Argentina who ends up winning, going to New Jersey for the Sunday's final. And who they end
She's still on.
up
No, that's Brianna. You still there?
She might. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, with Messi coming in the 64th minute, I believe, that game, he
Right.
scored a hat trick in a matter of like 24 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
So Eric said.
And with the men's team, they really they kind of break down.
They do. You're right. And now Eric brought up a point. Eric brought up a point saying that he thinks the U.S. is going to score a goal and it's not going to be Clint Dempsey. Who do you think on the U.S. is going to score that goal?
I kind of feel like it's going to be that new kid, I don't know his name.
Pulisic?
Plays up top, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that's the new kid. I don't know his first name, but Pulisic. You like those
Yeah,
young.
that kid.
You like those young
He seems like
kids.
he has a lot of potential.
Yeah, you like those young kids.
That's what it's all about.
Well, that's it.
The young
She-
guys, yeah.
Listen, they're not playing now. They're
Yeah.
getting ready for the Olympics, but you look
Yeah.
at the kid.
Well, unfortunately, the men's side
The
is not
girl,
going.
Mallory Pugh. She just turned 18 on the women's side, so
Right,
that's what
right.
that's what the girls are watching. That's
Right.
they're looking up to, and they need these young kids. So
I love the U.S. women's team, of course. You know, I'm really so proud to see the fact that they beat Japan last year at the World Cup. They got their third championship ever, and you know, it reminded me of the year when Chastain was on the team. You know, and when they really that was just another great season from the U.S. women's soccer team. They are the pride of our country. The men's, I think they're years down the road. I see them in the next 5-10 years being something spectacular.
Well, we've
I
been
think
waiting for that.
we're still waiting.
Listen, but let's just go on what we have right now, and I think they're playing a really good tournament right now to this point.
Oh yeah,
All right, let's see what happens tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
You know, let's see what happens. They've had a good tournament. All right, and
Yeah.
I was ready on this show to knock him, you know, and fire Klinsmann if they were out of this thing already.
I would not fire him. He's the first guy to actually, you know, because of the success he had with the '06 German national team. He's bringing sort of that same fire that the U.S. was lacking for so many years.
He's got all the
accountability.
I called for his head the first game. I text John Watch and I said, "Here we go, it's done."
Right,
I
right,
didn't even.
right.
I buried him.
Right, but
They were
let's
done
not
at the
forget.
first
I mean, he could be one of the best coaches in the world. If he doesn't have the players, the talent, what good are you?
Well,
What good are you?
I think this guy is underrated. I think believe me, you know who's the coach who's
They don't
really going to
have
be in a
the
lot of
players.
trouble? How about the Mexico coach whose team got smacked 7-0 by Chile, including this one guy, Eduardo Vargas, who had 4 goals, probably the single best performance so far at the Copa tournament.
Did they fire the coach yet from Mexico?
No.
Any word on it? Okay.
All right, Brianna. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you for calling in, because you're talking to mommy and I could hear you.
Does she want to mention anything about her season?
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, we're good.
But
Yeah, she called in interrupting me.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
it was Osorio who was really the head coach of El3. You know, they got knocked by La Roja, which it was really, and not just Vargas, but Puke too, who had 2 goals in that matchup.
Yeah.
It's just they came on like such a
Yep.
gangbusters, and I'm sitting there going, they're gonna win it. This is gonna be it. I see it. I see it in their eyes. I see the way they're playing, and then
But let's keep in mind, Chile's got a red card problem of their own. Vidal is going to miss.
Oh.
And that's a big loss.
Right, a big loss for them offensively.
They're going up against Colombia, who, by the way, they had to go to penalty kicks against Peru,
Right.
4-2. There were several instances where they could have won, especially on Cordaro's cross reaching Baca, and Jason Marula headed James' free kick wide. You know, that was really that was a deciding factor. But in the end, they won 4-2. They're going to be playing each other on Wednesday. This match, honestly, has Chile winning it. I really think Chile's going to come out victorious. I think it's going to end up being like a late game winner, 4-3.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a big swing.
Yeah.
And it's
A lot of goals.
Scoring, it's a lot of goals,
yeah.
but, you know, when you had Chile scoring 7 goals, I mean,
Yeah.
and Brazil scored 7 goals too. I mean, granted it was Haiti,
But they ended up getting knocked out, and they didn't have 100% of their team in that tournament.
They haven't
Neymar
scored a
didn't
goal
play.
after that, the 7.
Yep.
So it's the unlucky 7
Right.
in the Copa America right now.
and
Because
granted, that one game they did get robbed.
right, well,
That goal was not a. I mean, he blatantly hit that ball in with
The
his
handball,
hand. I
right.
mean,
There have been times where, you know, unfortunately, there are some calls that don't, you know, like you mentioned, you know, the touching the hands, which of
Yep.
course is a no-no if you're a soccer player. No-no.
yeah.
But who would you think
Getting
is gonna
back
win?
to the U.S., we got a few more minutes left here. Look, the whole world is against them. I mean, they got to believe that they're going to win tomorrow. They're the only ones that probably believe in that. So you really can't really count them out totally, because now they're playing, like you said earlier. You know, everything else is gravy now.
But they're playing the
You know,
Golden Boot.
But don't
Lionel
forget,
Messi.
you
playing
know,
with house money.
house money. But they're the only ones that believe that they can win that game. So
They're going to have the performance of their life tomorrow.
maybe not. Maybe not.
They're going to.
Yes.
But you know what? Crazier things have happened. Breakdowns on Argentina's side. How's their defense?
They have great.
I mean, we're talking about Messi and
No,
Di Maria. and all
they're
that.
a
Messi.
well put together team.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not just they have Di Maria and Messi and then there's nobody else. I mean,
A crazy call by the ref.
Well,
a
things-
PK.
things
Yeah,
can-
right.
things can
That's why they
happen.
play the game.
but they need to. They need to convince themselves
Yeah.
that they can do this.
Yeah. Where's the game tomorrow?
It's going to be in Houston, Texas.
They're in
tomorrow.
Houston. Okay.
And then
it's probably going to be hot.
Oh yeah, and you know there's going to be there's going to be a Argentina crowd for sure, and there's going to be a big USA presence too. So it's going to be a 50-50 crowd. It's
Right.
going to be at 9 o'clock on Fox Sports 1.
Okay.
Fox has done a great coverage
Fox, yeah.
of this entire
They
tournament.
have. They really have.
Yep.
I actually I like watching. I'm not a big fan of Alexi Lalas on TV, but they added this guy, Fernando Fiore, and he's just bringing a sense of
Spanish show.
comedy
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
to it a little bit. And he's Argentinian, so tomorrow,
right.
between Lalas waving his American flag and Fernando Fiore, it's going to be a fun show.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a fun show. It's going to be that night. It's going to be like watching the Cleveland Browns, you know, the cardiac kids of the 80s and all that. Your heart's going to be pounding
Yeah.
every single minute.
Yeah.
But as for your Forza Italia,
Well, let's get back into the Euros for the last few minutes that we got here. Yeah, all right, the Italians came in, and then nobody spoke a word about them, right? We were too young. We didn't have the talent, right?
Yep.
It's only
Giaccherini last week got a big
Right,
goal.
but it's only 2 games. We can't get crazy, you know. You want them to win this group on Wednesday. Hopefully, get a point, wrap up this group,
Yep.
right, and then go from there.
But they got some big victories, beating Switzerland and also beating Sweden. Sorry, with Eder's goal and
Yeah.
beating Belgium, which of course is no easy task. Belgium
Well,
usually is a pretty
what they
tough.
say,
Belgium hasn't impressed me
No,
in this
exactly.
Euros. They
Yep.
really haven't.
Yep.
Not to steal what the commentators were talking about, but they
Right.
made it very clear that after one game, the first game I believe it was, or the second game coming off
First
the
game.
half, they were walking off the field like pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Nobody was talking.
you have Romelu Lukaku on that team, who's probably one of the best players in the world, and yet they were terrible against Italy.
Right.
Yes.
But you know what? They played against Ireland, and they took their frustration out, and they scored about 3 goals on that, right? So they may be back. They may be back. Let's see what they do in their third game. They're playing Sweden. Now, that's the game.
It turns around. A
Right.
game like that can turn it around
Right.
very easily.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're back in the game.
Right.
You're back in it. I mean,
If they put away Sweden by 2-3 goals, then you got to watch out for them. All right, you really got to watch for them.
I'm
it's
happy
tough.
France, though, at least got through to the next round, you know, especially the first game, Oliver Giroud, who's
Yeah.
another outstanding player on the world stage and all that, was able to get that first initial goal. This is if they didn't make the next round, that would have been a national embarrassment right there.
oh,
honestly.
yeah, no, it's.
Just one more thing with the Italian team. I got to give credit to the coach. Again, Brian and I spoke, and we spoke about this the last couple of days. This coach, Antonio Conte, he's turned teams around everywhere he's gone. He's turned them around, meaning losing, bad. Serie A B, we'll start off with Bari, okay? Brought him to Serie A, okay? Going to Juventus, winning 4 or 5 championships in a row with Juventus. Taking over this Italian team, which was in shambles after the World Cup. And also the Euros, they lost that.
No
4
El
years ago.
Professore, which
They
is
lost that to Spain 4 years ago. So and he's turned things around.
Now he's leaving.
Right, and he's going to leave, and rightfully so. He wants an everyday job. Let him go. But he turned it around. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Can he come to my Newcastle United in the Premier
He's
League?
going to Chelsea. He's
Going
going
to
to Chelsea. I wish he would have stayed in Italy, but he went with the money. They threw him the bank.
Listen, nobody
They-
else pays the money that they're
right.
paying there.
And he's
so.
going to turn, with no doubt in my mind, he's going to turn Chelsea around.
Well, how about Leicester City? You know, to me, that was probably one of the greatest stories.
Yeah.
116
Right.
years in the league, and they won the Premier
Well,
League
let's see them do it
championship.
again. Let's see them
Now
battle.
Now let's see what happens.
Right, now let's see them at least battle for first place once again.
I know.
All right? You got to give Chelsea at least a season to get themselves straightened out, and some players, maybe 2 seasons, but he'll turn that thing around too. Okay?
Yep.
Again, it all comes down to plays. I mean, he's a great coach. You could be a great game coach. And we spoke about game coaching.
Right.
So, you're right. But you need players. You're not nothing without players.
Well, you got Giaccherini, and that guy.
Giaccherini. What is he like? Pushing 5'1"?
Yeah, it's crazy that
Yeah.
he's still even
But
playing
listen,
and all that.
Yeah.
You play the system, and that's it. You go from there. All right. But you need to have talent. You got to have talent.
But, you know, speaking of your Italian team, they got it. They need a tie.
Yeah, just
At
need
least
a
a
point.
tie.
Yeah.
At least a tie.
And knowing
Because
them-
Belgium's right there. They're three. They got their win. They're
Yeah.
3 points.
Right.
You know.
And they're in it too.
But they need to score
They need-
though.
right.
Because they're +1.
Belgium is full
Italy's
of
+3.
individual star players. Belgium, right? They need
And Eden has it. The guy is a
Yeah.
phenomenal player. But you hit it right on the head.
bunch
Yeah.
of. So they need to get it together as a
He's
team.
never consistent, Eden Hazard. He's hit and miss. If you've seen
Listen,
a lot
I
of
want
his
to see them
games.
out. I really hope Sweden
Because, well,
beats
it's
them,
a
right?
threat.
Because
I
they're
mean, they
dangerous.
just-
They're a dangerous team.
Yeah,
They're-
they definitely
they
are.
are.
Your team will beat the Republic of Ireland. I would say by an overwhelming number, they will win.
Well, again, it's because of the talent, and that's it. One side may have it, the other side may not, and that's what it's probably going to come down to. Knowing Italy, they were going for a tie, I think, in the second game, and they end up getting that late winner.
the late goal.
The
right.
late goal.
They were settling on. I was watching
right,
that game.
Right, so they were happy with a point. But if you watch the Euros, I think they scored 13 goals after the 88th minute so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were saying it. That was
13
something.
goals, something like that, after 88 minutes. Okay? A lot of late winners in this tournament so far.
I'm going to go with Argentina to win the Copa.
Okay.
And for the Euro, I'm going with, and this might be a shocker, I think Portugal might pull it off, get to the next round, and get
Okay.
all the way
Well,
to the end.
Really?
Yep.
All right, I mean, listen, they got one of the best players
Yep.
around, right? So they should, but they normally don't do anything. But the Portugal team, he doesn't do anything with. But
Oh, I don't see them going anywhere. I just don't
Let's
think
not-
he's a leader.
no, let's not forget
the-
about Germany.
Well,
All
of
right,
course,
let's not forget about Spain. All right,
Spain is
Spain is
again
up there.
another team that nobody really spoke
Right.
about,
Yep.
really doing much, age and this and that. But you know, we mentioned it early. You got 3/4 of that starting 11 is Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Let's touch on Albania for a minute. I mean, first time in a major tournament.
Wales as well.
Okay, let's touch on Albania because we have some Albanian friends here. First time, right, in a major tournament. First goal yesterday. So, I mean, and they're still alive to get through.
They
for the
just need
third.
some help.
Right. They need help, but they're still alive. That's all you can ask for. You still have a chance. They're not eliminated.
And I look at the standings, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at them. They got 1 win, 2 losses. They're -2.
All right, yeah.
They're -2 on goal differential,
Listen.
and they still have a chance.
Right.
So their chances, I would say, are 10-15% in getting to that next round, right, at this point
At
right
this
now.
point.
So you want to touch on Wales?
Yeah, Wales, too.
Yeah.
First time they had a goal in over 50 years in international tournament. To see Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland.
Right.
We're seeing they expanded all the amount of teams to see all these different countries finally get into the UEFA Euro, when for years it was very limited the amount of teams that were able to play. So this is what I like about this tournament is the variety in this.
It definitely is.
All right, so it's really a little too early to call like a winner for this tournament, I think.
There's
There's
still
just
too
too
many
many,
going on.
right.
I like to gamble.
We have to get through this group stage first.
My sleeper is Iceland.
No, okay. Yeah, I was rooting for them.
I got to root for them. They just
Yeah. The Reykjavik 11, as I like to call them.
they're unbelievable. But it wouldn't be. We were talking about Copa. And
Well, we got some
Euros.
Facebook comments here. Italy with the best defense in the world. You know what? That's been their style since.
But that's always been.
Right. That's always been. They need to get some goals too, and we'll see with Italy. I'm not going to say much. We'll see what happens with them. We'll see who we play. In the knockout stage, and we'll take it from there.
But one of the important things of the differences we were talking about, difference Copa, is the political crap that goes on there. I mean, you saw the one with the Croatia game,
Right.
where the flares
Yep.
were on the
Yep.
field.
Yep.
That whatever that explosive device was.
Yeah.
I mean,
A player could have
I
got
wanna
seriously
know,
hurt.
How are you getting? How
The security is lax.
Yeah, we're gonna
how
start
are you
wrapping up.
getting
Yeah.
in with these? I mean,
And that's what they were saying, the commentators, how they still, I guess Casey Keller was one of the guys saying, shaking his head, how do you let these guys in?
they're shooting.
You know?
I mean, it started with the England and the Russian
Right.
fans.
Right.
I mean, out in the street, you saw it. I get it. Out in the street, you're drinking. It was disgusting what you saw there, but it then came into the stadiums.
Yeah.
This is not the
Next-
first time that's happened at an event. And
that's
if you look at the
soccer.
French,
That's football in Europe. That's
but at the French Open 2 years ago during a quarterfinal match, I think it was Nadal or Federer was in the match. A fan got in with flares on the court nearly. So it really speaks.
Well,
to
they were
the
thrown onto the field at one
the
of the
end of the
games,
game.
so you know what? There's no room in the game for that.
And it was Croatia. It was Croatian
Croatia.
supporters,
Right.
but they're not supporters. They were saying that it was a political statement within the football.
Okay. All right, guys.
organization.
The music's on. Sign of the show is ending.
All right.
Thank you for coming on,
That was
Eric.
great.
All right, thank you for giving your input
no
on
problem, anytime.
Brian. Thank you for coming on, and
Thank you for
listen.
having me.
We'll see you guys next month, and there's soccer going on every day. And you know what? Let's go USA. Let's go.
That's right.
Let's go US. Let's shock the world. Pretty much like the Italians did so far in the first 2 games. So we'll see you guys next month. Thank you for watching.
Definitely. Go USA.
Pari grande amore, pari unica e sola, pari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo da sola, facci sognare ancora, facci gridare ancora, pari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo da sola mai. Quanti viaggi con gli amici, tanti posti sconosciuti, tutti uniti innamorati di un sogno. Canto sempre con orgoglio, anche quando sono stanco, mai nessuno può distruggere il mio sogno. Bari, grande amore, Bari unica e sola, Bari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo